One does not simply fight transphobia. This video is what cis people can learn from Lord of the Rings. Now before you start commenting and say something like, Lord of the Rings doesn't talk about trans people, shut up. Remember, this is an allegory. I'm not saying Lord of the Rings is literally about trans people, so hold your f***ing horses. Now in this video, I don't want to go into too much detail about the trilogy as a whole, because that's not really what I'm trying to do. I want to talk about the core themes of the trilogy, because, well, I think that's just more appropriate to what I want to say. In The Hobbit, Bilbo finds a ring from Gollum. Gandalf is a wise wizard, and he says wizards arrive precisely when they're needed, which is how trans people are as well. We transition right when we need to, never too early, never too late. Bilbo is a very isolated being in Shining, but he eventually welcomes Gandalf back in. Bilbo wants to leave for a holiday because he's sick and tired of living in the Shire. Do you know how boring it is in the Shire? And Bilbo tells stories of adventures, kids at his party. And then there are all these fireworks, which really sort of makes Americans on the 4th of July seem pathetic. Bilbo eventually agrees to give up the ring that he's held onto for such a long time. The rings represent transphobia. Transphobia brings with it power because transphobic people are in power. And before you start commenting saying trans people are in power, do you know how many trans people have died recently? Due to the hands of transphobes in the US and around the world, trans genocide is happening. I'm not being hyperbolic about that. Holocaust survivors have spoken out about this. Genocide experts have spoken about this. Trans genocide is real and it is happening. Bigotry is a form of power that oppresses others and should be stopped at all costs. And Frodo is the ring bearer, and he will take the ring to Mount Doom to be destroyed. Because, you know, they tried to burn it on fire, but that didn't work because magic. But I also imagine a ring that isn't magic wouldn't burn in a fireplace as well. And Gandalf tells Frodo he can't be the one to bear the ring because he has too much power, which is very accurate. That's why trans people, we call out people like J.R.R. Rowling a lot, because she has a lot of power as a public figure. Public figures have more power than regular people. Her words hold more value in society than the average person. People respect her words more due to the fact that she is famous, whereas the average person isn't that way. There is a lot of temptations around for people who have bared the ring. Power of the ring is very alluring to a lot of people. And similar to that, transphobia is very alluring to a lot of people. But you must remember to stop. Stop it. Stop it! And Gollum is an example of how transphobia can manifest in someone's mind with intense exposure, where it's all you can think about is being transphobic. Probably be people who will try to comment on this video who not only have these sorts of thoughts where they're obsessed with trans people in a transphobic way. Not only that, transphobes typically start off not being transphobes. And that's what happened with Gollum, that he used to be a regular old hobbit. And similarly, someone like J.K. Rowling used to be a trans ally, or at least a performative ally, but not anymore. And really, this trilogy talks a lot about teamwork, and all of that together really sort of sets the framework of what's to come here, and the freedom that comes with authentically expressing yourself requires allies. That's what you cis people are there for. You're supposed to be our allies, fighting for us. Because we need an army to defend us and do the right thing. They needed an army, and that's what they got. They were able to win the battles because of the armies they had. I hope you enjoyed this video, and there are some jokes I had to cut because they wouldn't be allowed here on YouTube. But if you want to see those, you can sign up for my Patreon at patreon.com/Sally Pryde. Plan starts low as $3 a month. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.